हरि बोल हरि बोल। कंठे च मुक्तावली गोपस्त्री परिवेष्टितो विजयते गोपालचूरा नमः कमलना भाय नमः कमलमालिने नमः कमलपादा नमस्ते कमलेक्षणे यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्य तद्ध्वं हदेवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। गीता ध्यान मेडिटेट on Shri Krishna। ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणी भगवती अष्टादशाध्यायिनी मन्वत्वामनुसन्धधामि भगवत् गीते भवद्वेषिणी। नमोस्तुते व्यास विशाल बुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायत पद्मनेत्र येन त्वया भारत तैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः प्रपन्न पारिजाताय तोतवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्स सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भीष्मद्रोण तथा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्रावती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थाम विकर्ण घोर मकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारत पंकजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे। मूकं करोति वाचा पंगुलंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानंद माधव यं ब्रह्मा वरुणिंदरुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः देवाय तस्मै नमः। बोले वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय, श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की जय, सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, वो राधा रानी की जय, गीता माता की जय। आदरणीय पूजनीय पंडित जी, प्रिय सज्जनों, भक्त समुदाय, महानुभाव, most worshipable Panditji Pandit Satyanand Maharaj, devotees of the Supreme Lord, the Divine Source. First, let me say Radhe Radhe to each and everyone, and my pranam, my humblest prostrations to all of you. Today is the most auspicious day. Today we celebrated Gita Jayanti. Bole Gita Mata ki Jai. Gita is the words of Sri Krishna himself. Translated, we can say the song of Sri Krishna. Bhagavad Gita, song of Bhagavan. This is the words of Sri Krishna himself. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita is Sri Krishna personified. If we have the feeling that this is Sri Krishna himself, and every word of Gita would be so purifying to us, so blessed and purifying. Just meditating on the words of Gita will bring everything. It is not just a book. ये ग्रंथ नहीं है. This is divine. These are the words of Sri Krishna himself spoken on the battlefield of Mahabharat to Arjuna. Today, the sixth discourse on the Gita. As we're celebrating Gita Jayanti, so during this visit, I have based all my discourses on Gita. Today is the sixth discourse. Today, because it's Gita Jayanti, I'm going to give the essence, the science, the essence of the Gita, the whole Gita. So it won't be in great detail, or all the shlokas, 700 shlokas. Just the very essence of the Gita. We get a grasp of what Gita is trying to tell us, what Sri Krishna is trying to tell us in the Gita. As we heard before, in the very first chapter of the Gita, Dharma Kshetre, Kurukshetre, Samaveta Yutsava Mamaka Pandavaschaiva. Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjay at that time in the most righteous place called Kurukshetra, where this war is about to be fought, those who have assembled for war. Those belonging to me, the Kauravas, to Dhritarashtra and the sons of Pandavas, what are they doing? So Sanjay is related what is happening in the battlefield. He was given special divine vision by Shri Krishna that he could sit in the kingdom and see the entire battle. Everyone has sounded their shank, the conch shell, signaling the start of war. Arjun says to Shri Krishna, Senayor madhye sthapayat. Ratham sthapayat. Krishna, he is ordering Krishna, take my chariot and place it in the middle. Why? I want to see. Nirikshame. I want to see what? Who have come here to fight with me. I want to see all who have come to fight. Arjun looks and Sri Krishna says, okay, he takes the chariot and places it in the middle between the two armies. Arjun looks at the other side, the enemy, who is going to fight the enemy. He sees Bhishma Pitamaha, the grandsire, Dronacharya, the Guru. He sees his cousins, the relatives, friends, elders. Arjun becomes faint-hearted. The bow, the Gandhi slips from his hand. The skin starts burning like fire. His mind is full of confusion. He's shaking. He sits down on the seat of the chariot, throws down the bow and arrow and says to Krishna, I'm not going to fight. Shri Krishna asks why. Arjun says, Krishna, my teachers, my gurus, the elders, relatives, friends are going to die in this war. Women will become widows, characterless. Children will become bastards. This is a very bad action for which I'll have to go to hell. He then asked Shri Krishna to guide him. Karpanya dosho pahata svabhava prichhami tvam dharma samudha cheta yache yasya nishitam bruhi tanme shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. Chapter 2, verse 7. Please guide me, he said to Shri Krishna. For I am unable to decide on the right course of action due to the extreme bewilderment of my mind. I seek your guidance as your fully surrendered disciple. You are my Guru. Prapanna Shish, fully surrendered. Shri Krishna says, okay, Arjun, if you make me your Guru, if you don't fight this war, you have to listen to me. I'm your Guru now. If you don't fight this war, it's a bad action for which you will have to go to hell. Arjun was confused. How, when I'm not doing anything, is it a bad action? Shri Krishna said, Arjun, you're Kshatri, a member of the warrior class, and so it's your duty, dharma of the Kshatri, to fight, to protect. If you do not fight, you will not be performing your duty, and one who does not do his duty will go to hell. Arjun said, okay, if I don't fight the war, I'll go to hell. What is the outcome of fighting the war? Hato va prapsasi swargam jitva va mokshase mahi. Chapter 2, verse 37. Hato va. If you die while fighting the war, Arjun, you will go to heaven, Swarga. On the other hand, if you were victorious, Jeet Gaya, then you become king of the world. Since one of this is bound to happen, you will win on both sides. Arjun said, okay. Tell me though, will I find true happiness, true peace in heaven? Shri Krishna says, Te tam bhuktva swargalokam vishalam kshine punye Martyalokam vishanti evam tai dhammanupapanna gata kam kama labhante. Chapter 9, verse 21, Gita. No, Arjun. There is no happiness in heaven. True happiness. It is only the happiness of this material world multiplied a number of times. And since there is zero happiness here in the material world, no matter how many times you multiply by zero, you will get zero. We went in detail one night. So Arjun says, okay, Krishna, it means I have to avoid heaven. And I need not ask you about the happiness of the world, as I've enjoyed them during my kingship, and I know for a fact that there's not even the tiniest drop of true happiness in heaven, in the world. It means I'm bounded on all sides. I'm trapped in every side. If I refuse to fight the battle, I go to hell. If I fight the battle, I get heaven or earth. All is bandhan. Tino bandhan hai. It's like three jails. My guru would refer to these three like three jails. A golden jail, a steel jail, iron jail. Heaven, golden jail. The world, steel jail. And hell, iron jail. All jail. Whether it's a gold jail or an iron jail. All bondage. So I'm bound on all sides. Sri Krishna says, yes, this is what I'm telling you. Do not do good and do not do bad. Na acha na bura. Dono nahi karna. What do you mean? Do not perform the action of fighting the battle. Do not perform the action of not fighting the battle. And fight the battle. What kind of puzzle is this? Arjun, the one who solves this puzzle, becomes eternally gratified. So you mean I should do nothing? Kuch nahi karna? Shri Krishna says yes. But you yourself have told me, you have said in the Gita, Nahi kaschit kshanamapi jatu tishthatya karmakrit. Chapter 3, verse 5, Gita. No one can remain inactive even for a moment. Then how do we attain the state of complete inactivity? Shri Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam braja. One of the most important verses in Gita. The conclusion of the Gita. Chapter 18, verse 66. Arjuna, renounce all dharma, all duty, all obligation. Sarva dharma parityajya. And take shelter in me alone, in Shri Krishna alone. Mam ekam sharanam braj. Do not surrender to anyone else. We surrender to everyone in the world. Mommy, daddy, husband, wife, child, friend, money, name, fame. But when it comes to Bhagwan, we will not surrender. Shri Krishna says, surrender to me alone. Ananya. Only Shri Krishna. Shri Krishna says, I will come. Main aunga. But you have to clean out the rubbish. Sab kachra nikal do. Drawing room se. Take out all the rubbish from the drawing room. Drawing room, the heart, the mind. Rubbish, all these attachments you have in the world. Nikal do. Then I will come. Arjuna said, but I had told you before, Krishna, in chapter 2, I had told you that I am your fully surrendered disciple. Shishyasteham shadhyamam tvam prapannam. You did say that, chapter 2, verse 7. You did say that you are my fully surrendered disciple. But at that time, there was something wrong. एक गलत चीज है. What was wrong? You were afraid of dharma. धर्म से डरते. That if I don't do right thing, I will not go to heaven. जो ज्ञानी है, जो ज्ञान है, जो भक्त है, one who is ज्ञानी, true ज्ञानी भक्त, he's not afraid, he doesn't care about heaven, he doesn't want to go to heaven, no hell, no anywhere. ये स्वर्ग से डरते नहीं, ये धर्म से डरते नहीं. The desire, as I told you one night, heaven is not a good place to go. Everything is destroyed when we go to heaven. Bhagwan Shri Ram warns us in the Ramayana, Ram Gita. Ehi tan kar pal vishaya na bhai, swargahu swalpa ant dukhdai. Bhagwan Shri Ram himself is saying to the residents of Ayodhya, to us, this human body which is so valuable, Dev Durlabh, the Devatas are praying and begging and can't get it, was not given to you to enjoy sensual pleasures, to have a good time in the world, enjoy the senses, nor was it given to go to heaven, Swarga. Why? Swargahu Swarga. Because there's nothing there. As I told you, the happiness of heaven are only those of this material world multiplied a number of times. And there's zero here. No matter how many times you multiply by zero, you will get zero. And the worst part, anta dukhdai, it ends in suffering. As I explained one night, when we go to heaven, we perform punya, spiritual merits, when you do dharma. Impossible almost in Kali, but if you can do, you acquire something called punya, spiritual merits. When you go, that will determine which heaven you go to and how long you will enjoy for. But once you go there and you start enjoying, Shri Krishna tells us in chapter 9 verse 21, Kshine punya. The punya starts destroying as you enjoy. And one day it's going to become zero. And then Martilokam Vishanti, you be thrown out. And the Vedas tell us, Heenataram Vishanti. Mundak Upanishads, first Mundak, second and 10th mantra. We will lose this valuable human birth also. We'll be thrown into lower forms. Heenataram, he means lower forms of life. Dog, cat, donkey, worm. After enjoying in heaven as a devata, we'll be thrown into the yoni, the womb of a worm. How lovely. Such a position of superiority to one of such inferiority. And that's why the Vedas say, Pramudha, the one who wants to go to heaven is not only an ordinary fool, but the greatest fool. Pramudha. So Arjun, that was wrong at that time. You were afraid of dharma, you were afraid of violating your moral and ethical duties. Now I'm telling you, renounce dharma as well as adharma. Dharma means renouncing both dharma and adharma. Vice, virtue as well as vice. Oh, renounce virtue and do vice? No. Virtue as well as vice. And take shelter in Shri Krishna alone. Arjun said, but you have told me that if I do not perform my duty, I will go to hell. The Vedas are saying if one doesn't do their duty, they will go to hell. And you're telling me renounce all duties here. That's correct, Arjun. If one doesn't surrender to God, to Shri Krishna, listen carefully. If one doesn't take shelter in God, doesn't surrender to God, and doesn't do his duty, dharma, then he's a papi, he's a sinner, he will go to hell. But the moment you surrender to Shri Krishna, then he takes care of everything. Yogakshemam Bahamyaham, chapter 9, verse 22. Shri Krishna say, I will take care of everything. Not only that, Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishami Ma Suchaha. Second line of the same verse, chapter 18, verse 66. People say, They have a way of saying, when things happen to us, I woken out my karma, bhaiya. You woken out your karma? Can anybody work out karma? Infinite paap, sanchit paap is stored in the heart and the mind. If you subtract infinite from infinite, you get infinite. Nobody can work it out. We work out prarabdha. Prarabdha. A tiny drop is taken from that huge storehouse, I explained one night also, and given to us in any lifetime. You don't work out karma. The only time karma, all that infinite paap and punya is destroyed when we completely surrender to Shri Krishna. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo. I will release you, free you. You don't have to worry, I'll take care of everything. Provided you take shelter in Shri Krishna, that's the condition. And give you everything divine. So if we do good, that is dangerous, we go to heaven. If we do bad, that is dangerous, we go to hell. Renouncing both good as well as bad, that is called surrender, Sharanagati. The main teaching of Gita. We have to surrender to Shri Krishna. Surrender. So surrender means doing nothing. If, I mentioned one night, if the army of a country attacks the enemy, there's a war, and the army surrenders to the enemy, the army of one country surrenders to the enemy, what does it mean? They can't do anything. If a businessman declares bankruptcy to the government, what does it mean? He can't do anything. In the same way, complete surrender to Shri Krishna means complete inactivity. Sharanagati or surrender is another name for doing nothing, complete inactivity. Look, a newborn child, Naujat Shishya, can do nothing for himself. Can do nothing for himself or herself. And the mother does everything for the child. Bathe the child, clean the child, feed the child, everything. The child is helpless. But as a child grows up and starts doing things for himself, for herself, the mother too starts lessening her responsibilities in the same amount. Until one day, the child does everything for themselves. Gets up by himself, goes to the bathroom, the toilet by himself, brush the teeth by himself, take his breakfast, eat by himself, go to school and come back home. If one day he happens to be late and the father says, "Where's Thakur Das?" He's become a loafer, he's gone with his friends somewhere. But when that same child was just 5 years old and was only 5 minutes late from school, both the parents panicked. Ran off looking for him. Oh my God, I hope he didn't get in an accident. I hope someone did not kidnap, etc. The point here is, as long as we are the doer, karne wala hum, as long as there is the ego that I am doing, God also does. But only the work of noting our thoughts and ideas and rewarding or punishing us accordingly. Avashyameva bhoktavyam kritam karma shubhashubham. We have to bear the fruits of our good action as well as bad action. But the moment we start surrendering to Shri Krishna, what happens? He too starts showering His grace upon us in the same amount. If we surrender 1%, He showers 1% grace. We surrender 10%, He showers 10% grace. We surrender 50%, 50% grace. We surrender 100%, complete surrender. Then His law comes in front. Tesham nityabhyuktanam yogakshemam maham yaham. Chapter 9, verse 22, Gita. Gita. For the one who completely surrenders to me, Shri Krishna says, I bring attainment of what they do not have, and I protect what they have. I take care of everything. There's no need to worry anymore. I'll take care of everything. Sarva papebhyo mokshesham mimasucha. I free them from all sins, all pap ever committed, all punya ever committed, and gives them divine bliss, divine happiness, divine body forever. But the surrender has to be complete, 100%. What is meant by 100%? We'll do bhajan and then we'll continue. In the books you have, turn to page 6. So, I mentioned that Gita is Shri Krishna, and we have been hearing that we have to pray, we have to love, we have to worship Shri Krishna. We want Shri Krishna to come. If you want Shri Krishna to come, there's an easy way, a shortcut. There's a shortcut kind of way. You see, the name Radhe is very dear to Shri Krishna. Very, very dear. Why is the name Radha so dear to Shri Krishna? Atma tu Radhika tasya. The Vedas say Radha Rani is the Atma, the soul of Shri Krishna. Just as the soul, who we are, is the dearest thing to us, of our body, and Shri Krishna is the soul of us, of all the souls, so he is the dearest thing to us. In the same way, Radha Rani being the soul of Shri Krishna, she is dearest to Shri Krishna. It is said that when Shri Krishna would sleep in Dwarika, from every pore of his body, Radhe, 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 the sound will come. So dear is the name Radha. When a devotee chants Radha, he says Raha, Shri Krishna comes running. But he stops halfway. He wants to see now, if he will say, when he says they, so Radhe, but Shri Krishna is looking to see how is he taken the Radhe name. Is it with love or just like a parrot? If it is with love, Shri Krishna comes running. But if it's just like a parrot, Bemani, without any feelings, Shri Krishna go back to his abode. I wasted my time. So you want Shri Krishna to come, just chant Radhe Radhe with love. Prem se. And Shri Krishna will come running and he will chant Radhe Radhe also. And once he has come once, he will never leave again. Chant Radhe Radhe. Radhe Radhe बोल श्याम भाजे चले आएंगे राधे राधे बोल श्याम भाजे चले आएंगे ओ राधे राधे बोल श्याम भाजे चले आएंगे राधे राधे बोल श्याम भाजे चले आएंगे एक बार आ गए तो कभू नहीं जाएंगे एक बार आ गए तो कभू नहीं जाएंगे तेरे साथ साथ शाम राधे राधे गाएंगे तेरे साथ साथ शाम राधे राधे गाएंगे प्रेम मगन तन प्रेम मगन तन सुधी बिसराएंगे प्रेम मगन तन सुधी बिसराएंगे ओ सुधी बिसराएंगे सुधी बिसराएंगे ओ राधे राधे गाएंगे राधे चले आएंगे, राधे 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 जू के गुण गन मुरली में गाएंगे, राधे जू के गुण गन मुरली में गाएंगे। राधे जू की छवि लगी बलि बलि जाएंगे, राधे जू की छवि लगी बलि बलि जाएंगे, ओ बलि बलि जाएंगे, बलि बलि जाएंगे, ओ राधे राधे गाएंगे, राधे राधे गाएंगे, ओ राधे राधे बोल श्याम हाजी चले आएंगे, राधे राधे बोल श्याम हाजी चले आएंगे। जय हो कहीं कहीं भुजन उठाएंगे, जय हो भुजन उठाएंगे, भुजन उठाएंगे, भुजन उठाएंगे। दो दिग आनंद जल बरसाएंगे, दो दिग आनंद जल बरसाएंगे, ओ जल बरसाएंगे, जल बरसाएंगे, ओ राधे राधे गाएंगे, राधे राधे गाएंगे, ओ राधे राधे बोल श्याम हाजी चले आएंगे, राधे राधे बोल श्याम हाजी चले आएंगे। राधे नाम लेके मूर्छित हो जाएंगे, राधे नाम लेके मूर्छित हो जाएंगे। प्रभु हंसेंगे, प्रभु आंसू बहाएंगे, प्रभु हंसेंगे, प्रभु आंसू बहाएंगे, ओ आंसू बहाएंगे, आंसू बहाएंगे, ओ राधे राधे गाएंगे, राधे राधे गाएंगे, ओ राधे राधे बोल श्याम हाजी चले आएंगे, राधे राधे बोल श्याम हाजी चले आएंगे। एक बार आ गए तो कबू नहीं जाएंगे, एक बार आ गए तो कबू नहीं जाएंगे। लखी लखी रसिकन मन मुस्काएंगे, लखी लखी रसिकन मन मुस्काएंगे, ओ मन मुस्काएंगे, मन मुस्काएंगे। राधा भाव रही श्याम, राधा भाव रही श्याम, श्याम श्याम गाएंगे, राधा भाव रही श्याम, श्याम श्याम गाएंगे, ओ श्याम श्याम गाएंगे, श्याम श्याम गाएंगे, ओ राधे राधे गाएंगे, राधे राधे गाएंगे, ओ राधे श्याम गाएंगे, राधे श्याम गाएंगे, ओ राधे श्याम गाएंगे, राधे श्याम गाएंगे, ओ राधे राधे गाएंगे, राधे राधे गाएंगे, ओ राधे श्याम गाएंगे, राधे श्याम गाएंगे, ओ राधे राधे गाएंगे, राधे राधे 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 गाएंगे, ओ राधे 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 बोल श्याम भज चले आएंगे। राधे राधे बोल श्याम भज चले आएंगे। बोल राधा कृष्ण भगवान की जय। I want to mention, every night we've had Bhakti TV carrying us this program live. So many people throughout the world online. It's a great service that Bhakti TV, especially Pandit Satyanand Maharaj from the Satya Anand Ashram, is doing. And if we want this to continue, then we should support him. He's always carrying all my programs. Wherever I am, I could be in Toronto, I could be in USA, wherever in USA, in Trinidad. All my programs are carried. So thank you very much, Bhakti TV, Pandit Satyanand Maharaj. And of course, Panditji has brought his wonderful drummer, Kyle, the drumming you hear. And we've been enjoying throughout the series. A young man by the name of Kyle is wonderful. Performing a wonderful seva. I want to say thanks to Kyle also. So this surrender, this complete surrender, it has to be complete. The Taittiriya Upanishad, Vedas, it says, Yada hevaisha etasmin udaramantaram kurute atatasya bhayam bhavati. Taittiriya Upanishad. That if there is the slightest lack equal to the strand of a hair, the width of a single strand of hair in our surrender to Sri Krishna, he will not shower his grace completely. There's a katha you're very familiar with from Mahabharata. Draupadi had laughed at Duryodhana. In Indraprastha, such a palace was built, so beautiful that at one place there seemed to be water, but it was just an illusion. And this slowly scientists is trying to catch up. Science. This thing's already happened more than 5,000 years ago. So Duryodhana carefully tried to step, and when he stepped, because he thought it was water, he stumbled. And Draupadi started laughing loudly, giggling and laughing. And Duryodhana got very angry. And he kept in his mind, I'm going to take Badla. I'm going to take revenge one day. Badla, to keep this thing in your mind, I'm going to take revenge. I'm going to fix you. It destroys us more. Don't ever keep these things in you. Forget, forgive, forget. When you keep that in you, it destroys you. Instead of keeping Bhagwan, instead of keeping Guru, we keep all kind of nonsense. That's why Tinadapi Suni Chena, Gaurang Mahaprabhu says, become humbler than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree. How do we do that? If we look deep in our heart, deep inside, we will see that I am no better than anyone. Actually, I might be worse. If somebody does something wrong, I am always doing wrong. I'm thinking wrong things if I don't do it physically. And God knows, not the physical action, our thoughts and ideas. We think I haven't done anything wrong because I didn't do it physically. I didn't steal. I didn't hit anyone. I didn't curse. I didn't commit murder. I didn't do it physically, but I thought about it. How many people we kill in our mind? I wish we will go and die somewhere. I hate this lady. And when she come in front of you, Sitaram, Sitaram. Oh, long time I haven't seen you. Please have a nice, have a seat. So sweet. Inside you want to kill, and outside sweet. Which one is Bhagavan noting? The inside. So if we realize that deep inside, that I'm no better than anyone, I actually might be worse, then it becomes easy to forgive and forget. And that frees you. It frees you from hatred and all this malice. Negative thoughts, it only makes the mind is already so dirty, is only making it more dirty. Anyhow, Duryodhana didn't care. He was already Rakshas in nature. So the plan was made after the Kauravas and the Pandavas, they played the game of dice. They lost everything, the Pandavas, and they also lost Draupadi. She was wagered also, their wife. So Dushashan was sent, the brother of Duryodhana, to bring Draupadi and strip her naked. This was the punishment. She laughed at me. Today I have the opportunity. So Dushashan went and grabbed Draupadi by her hair, started dragging her into the court. Draupadi thought, when I have 5 husbands sitting here, and each one so powerful, they were top both as physical man and spiritual man. No one in the universe could compete with them. She thought, what is the use of Bhagwan? If a woman has a husband who has a little bit of power, status, power, you see when she walks, she struts. You know who my husband is? So you can imagine the condition of one who has 5 husbands of the caliber I just mentioned. Who does Dushashan think he is? Let him try to strip my sari. Arjun will break every teeth in his mouth. But when she looked towards Arjun, Arjun put his head down. No problem. Bhimsen will break every teeth in his mouth. She looked towards Bhimsen, he also put his head down. One by one, each husband put their head down as they no longer had the right to protect her. They had lost her. She belonged to the Kauravas. Draupadi now looked towards the elders of the court. Bhishma, Pitamaha, Dhritarashtra, etc. But they also put their head down as they no longer had the right to protect her. Draupadi is thinking in her mind what the saints and the scripture says, Sab swarthi hai, everyone is selfish. Think only about their own happiness. See, slowly, slowly, surrender is coming. But not complete. While this is going on, Shri Krishna was eating in Dwarika. And he was being served by Rukmini, his main queen, descension of Mahalakshmi, Rukmini. She's serving him and he's eating. And suddenly, he's about to put a morsel of food in the mouth and he remains like this. He's not swallowing the food in the mouth. He's not putting the one in the hand, that gasa in the mouth, nor is he putting it down. He remains like this. Rukmini hayran ho gayi. Rukmini is panicking. What happened? Maybe there's a stone in the rice. If you didn't bean the rice, you didn't check it properly. Or the dal, there's a stone. Sometimes stone comes. You eat it and crack. Stone. Or maybe the servant was careless and there's a hair or something. Rukmini says, Swami, my lord, what happened? Rukmini, a devotee of mine is in grave danger. Rukmini said, why don't you go and save the devotee, my lord? Shri Krishna replied, she hasn't completely surrendered to me as yet. Can't do anything. Back in Hastinapur, Draupadi decided to save her honor by catching the edge of the sari with the teeth, dant mein dabaya. But Dushashan who had the strength of 10,000 elephants. When he gave a slight jerk, out came the sari. It was now that Draupadi remembered there was one to save her. Her Lord, Shri Krishna. Up went the hand. You see, I told you one of the meaning of raising the hand when we do Jaikar, I surrender to you, my Lord. Up went the hand. Hanath Dwarikavasin. Oh, my Lord, who resides in Dwarika. Where are you? This was the moment of complete surrender. She gave up all the strength. No one in the world, not even herself, she gave up. This is complete surrender. Immediately, there was Ambara avatar. Ambar means close. This special descension of Shri Krishna. He became her sari. Ambara avatar. He became the sari of Draupadi. And Dushasan kept pulling. And it kept just more and more. And he tried as he might, he could not make Draupadi naked. So for doing nothing, we will get everything. So merciful, so loving, so kind is Shri Krishna. He doesn't ask us for anything. He says, you stop doing everything. You become silent, let me be the talker. Let me be the doer. You are drunk and driving. Khub nashe mein hai. There's every possibility of an accident. Now you just go and sit in the back seat and let the master of the car drive. Go to sleep without any care. The car will arrive safely up to the front door of your house. In the same way, when we completely surrender to Shri Krishna, He will do everything for us. Everything. A bird, the bird that flies in the sky, a bird gets no peace and is followed by other birds as long as it holds a piece of flesh in the beak. But the moment that bird lets go of that piece of flesh, वो मांस को छोड़ देते हैं, it is no longer followed and gets shanti, peace. In exactly the same way, Tavad bhayam davinage hasuhin nimittam shokah spriha paribhavo vipulascha moha Tavan mameta sarvagaharti moolam yavan tenkhima bhayam pravinita loka. Bhagavad Mahapuran, 3rd Canto, 9th chapter, 6th verse. The Bhagavad says, the individual soul, that individual soul who does not take shelter in the Lord, who does not surrender to the Lord, is subject to fear, grief, greed, anger, and every other disease of the mind, owing to attachment, relatives, family, property, possession, etc. But the moment he completely surrenders to Shri Krishna, there's not a moment in attaining the grace of Shri Krishna. Kshipram bhavati dharmatma shashvat chantim nigacchati. Just like a room that has been dark for thousands of years, and you bring a light in the room, does it remove the darkness little by little? No. The entire room becomes bright immediately. The moment we completely surrender to Shri Krishna, He will remove us, free us from Maya, and give us divine happiness, divine bliss forever. Forever. Bhidyate hridayagantish chidyante sarva sanshayaha kshiyante chasya karmani tasmin drishde paravare. Mundak Upanishad. The exact translation of this Ved mantra, the exact words, is given in Bhagavad Mahapuran. I told you over and over, Bhagavad Mahapuran is translation of Vedas. Nobody can understand Ved. Ved is divine. People have taken dictionary and written translation. They make a mess. You cannot translate with dictionary. Ved is divine. Parokshavad, Shri Krishna says to Uddhav in Bhagavad Mahapuran. Ved is Parokshavad. There's a deeper, hidden, divine meaning. Material minds cannot understand. That's why there's so much nonsense. The Vedas themselves say, Acharyavan Purusho hi Ved. Do not try to read Ved by yourself. Go to the saint, one who's attained Shri Krishna. Let him tell you what is in Ved. You think it's a translation, but it's useless. It's actually going to destroy you because its ignorance is right in it. It's just translated by a dictionary. As I told you, Tulsidas, he says in the Ramayana, Bhagavad Rasik Rasik ki baate Rasik bina samjh sake na Jai Ram Shri Ram रसिक बिना को समझ सके ना खग जाने खग ही कह भाखा. Tulsidas Maharaj, the great saint Tulsidas, says, just as a bird alone can understand the language of another bird, so too only a saint, a rustic saint, can understand what is written by another saint. Divine intellect can only understand divine words. So Vedavyas, knowing that no one can understand Ved, he wrote Bhagavad Mahapuran. This is why Bhagavad is called Panchama Ved, the fifth Ved, because it is translation of Vedas. Example as how misinterpretation. Every word in Vedas can take thousands of meaning. For example, at one place, God is called Akash in the Vedas. Akash means space, but Bhagwan is being called Akash. At one place, he's been called Purush. Purush means man, human being. Another place, he's been called Agni. Agni means fire, or the god of fire. How are we going to understand? You take a dictionary, you make a big mess. We read our scriptures. Some Western people have translated, or somebody has taken a dictionary and translated our scriptures, and we think we understand. No, bhaiya, you don't understand. Don't think you understand. If a true saint, a true guru has done it, has told you what is in there, damn. So, this verse from Mundak Upanishad, the exact words in Bhagavad. Bhidyate hridayagantis chhidyante sarva sanshaya kshiyante chasya karmani drishta eva khilatmani. Bhagavad Mahapuran, first canto, second chapter, 21st verse. Shri Krishna says, I at once removed the nuts of doubts and ignorance from the heart of my fully surrendered devotees. Furthermore, I free them from all the effects of all actions performed by them in uncountable past lifetimes, good and bad. the effects of our actions affects us in every lifetime. That's what makes us think a certain way, act a certain way. It's very hard to fight nature. Impossible. This is all as a consequence of actions. Our nature, what kind of person we are, our character, is all been molded by what we were in the past life, when we were a human being. It's called sanskar, the mental tendencies stored in the mind. You can have 10 children in one family and 10 all different. You know, scientists say genes, nothing to do with genes. They're trying to take genes of, you know, science, and they still want to do that. Hitler had tried it. Tried to get two extremely intelligent person and get the genes and make a superhuman being. He would have gotten a super donkey. Genes have nothing to do with it. What we are is due to the actions stored in the mind. Parents are something and children are something else. You have good parents and the worst children. We have seen many examples. In the home of a saint, Rakshas is born. Valasya Muni. Rakshas, Ravan. And in the home of a Rakshas, demonic person, saint is born, Prahlad. If the child has the quality of the parent, then that shouldn't happen. We all come with a bundle already made from the past. It's nothing to do certain things in the body, but when it comes to what we are, that has come with us from the past life. You have 10 children, everyone has different interests. Everyone will be different. All because of the sanskar. We don't understand. If we understand Hindu philosophy, then only we'll understand. Otherwise, impossible. So I removed them from all the effects of uncountable actions performed. From that moment onward, the Lord looks after that devotee, that surrendered devotee, like a mother looks after a newborn child. Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram, Ram, Siya Ram, Jai Jai Ram. राखी मोहताज बोल राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम कहा शिशुवक्ष अनल अहिधाई कहरा जननी अयरा बोल राम सिया राम जय जय राम राम सिया राम जय जय राम सिया राम जय जय राम करो सदा तिन कै रखवारी जिमि बालक राखहि महतारी. Just like a mother takes care of a newborn child, the Lord takes care of his fully surrendered disciple. He takes full responsibility on his shoulder of that soul. Not only that, he forgives the uncountable sins performed in uncountable past lifetimes. I told you, No one can destroy sins, no matter how much prayashchit karma you do from the Vedas. You can destroy some, but it's infinite. You subtract infinite from infinite, it remains infinite. Purnamadaha purnamidam purnata purnamadachyate purnasya purnamadaya purnamevavashishyate. But the moment we completely surrender to Sri Krishna, he takes some matches and he lights that storehouse of infinite actions. It's burnt up immediately. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksheshami ma suchaha. This is his promise, his challenge. Chapter 18, verse 66. Think about the causeless mercy of God. In the world, we hear about criminals surrendering to the law. Somebody has committed a crime, the police is chasing, he decides they're going to kill me, he surrenders. But he's not forgiven for the crime. In fact, the severity of the punishment is determined by looking at the past criminal record. The more crimes you have committed, more punishment. If it's the first time, they'll be lenient. Less punishment. But God, divine law is completely different. The moment we completely surrender to Sri Krishna, he forgives the uncountable sins we have committed in uncountable past lifetimes and gives us divine bliss, divine happiness forever. And that's not the end of his grace. For as he says in Bhagavad Mahapuran, Nirapeksham munim shantam nirvairam samadarshanam anubrajamiham nityam puyatang ghire nubhi. Eleven Canto, 14 chapter, 16 verse. Shri Krishna says, those who have completely surrendered to me, my fully surrendered devotees, I run after them like a slave. So Uddhav, he's saying this to Uddhav. Uddhav says to Shri Krishna, hey Krishna, why are you doing that? To protect them? Unki raksha karna? Shri Krishna says no. Uddhav, I do that sitting in their heart. Already. Then why are you running? So when they walk, the dust of their lotus feet will fly on me and I'll become purified. I'll be blessed. He becomes a slave to that one who surrenders to him. Daso ke das. He loves to serve those who serve him. He says, the Ramayana says, he loves to serve his sevak, those who serve him, his das. Loves to. Veda Puran Sad, the Vedas, the Puranas, the Devatas, the sadhu saints all bear witness to this. Sakyadev Pannaya Tavasmiti Chayachate Ubhayam Sarvabhutebhyo Dadami Tadvratam Mama Vratra Mama. Valmiki Ramayana. God says, if someone surrenders to me even once, ek baar, I will give him my storehouse of graces. Kripa ka bhandar. What is meant by storehouse of graces? How many graces of God there are, no one can count. Just as no one can count the amount of bad things inside of us or the amount of great things we are going to receive once we completely surrender to Shri Krishna. Yad durlabham yadaprapya manaso yanna gocharam tadapi pratito dhyatu dadati madhusudanaha. Garud Puran. The scripture says, all bad qualities will go only when Maya goes. Maya is the mother of all bad qualities. As long as Maya is there, we have all the bad things in us. We can't see. And we look at this one bad and that one bad and there, this one, and you, I'm great. No, bhaiya, you're worse. By looking, your yearning increasing. Paradosh nahi dekha dekhna, sapne ho nahi dekha hi paradosha. O Shabari, not even in dream to look at the faults of others. And we love looking at everyone's faults and talking about them. Nobody talks how bad they are. You don't go to somebody and say, hey, you know, I'm such a lustful fella and I'm so greedy and I'm so angry and I'm such a donkey. So all that bad qualities will go only when Maya. So the Lord says, I will free you from Maya, the mother of all bad qualities, and give you divine qualities, divine body, divine happiness, everything divine, the moment you completely surrender to Shri Krishna. The Lord is so merciful. Jo tu dhave, doha. जो तू धावे एक पग तो मैं धाऊं साथ, हो रामा तो मैं धाऊं साथ। जो तू करो काट दो मैं लोहे की लाट, हो रामा मैं लोहे की लाट। सिया रामचंद्र कर जय शरणम शंकर हरिओ जय जय सिया राम, जय जय सिया राम, जय जय सिया राम। जो तू धावे एक पग तो मैं धाऊं साठ. The Lord says, if you walk one footstep towards me, I will run 60. How much God will do for us. Now we don't even surrender how much He's doing. We surrender how much He'll do. We can't even imagine. Yet, in spite of all the graces He showers on His surrendered devotees, He still feels He hasn't done anything for them and He feels indebted to them. जो संपत्ति शिवरावली, जो संपत्ति शिवरावली, सोई संपदा विभीषण ही, सकुच दीनी रघुनाथ, ओ रामा सकुच दीनी रघुनाथ, सियावर रामचंद्र कर जय शरण, शंकर हरिओ जय जय सिया राम, जय जय सिया राम, जय जय सिया राम। Look at how much the Lord loves those who surrender to Him, who take shelter in Him. When Vibhishan, the brother of Ravan, came to the shelter of Prabhu Shri Ram, Bhagwan Shri Ram gave him the kingdom, that golden kingdom of Lanka. That Lanka that Ravan had gotten from Lord Shiv in exchange for his 10 heads, Dasamat. And Bhagwan Shri Ram is given this with great embarrassment to Vibhishan, saying, what a small thing, what a small thing I'm giving to you. With great embarrassment. Sakuchi Deen Hi Raghunath. Who will not surrender to such a loving and merciful and kind Lord? Okay, now, what to surrender? I told you one night before, let me run back through briefly. Surrender is not to be done verbally. I surrender to you. No, not like that. Ceremoniously, through some ritual, or physically. Why? Because the true performer of the action is not our hand, feet, mouth, eye, nose, etc. This is a house. This eye is a house. Inside this eye is another eye, very subtle, that you can't see. Somebody has beautiful eyes, but they can't see anything because the inner eye has been destroyed. So the beautiful ears, but they cannot hear. There's a house. Ghar hai, ghar. So God does not note the physical action, what we do with the senses. And this is a mistake we make. We do everything physically. We do puja, we do jal, we offer jal on the shivling, we read scripture, we sing bhajan, we go to place of pilgrimage, bow to any person we think is spiritual, but all with physically. There's no feeling in the heart, in the mind. Somebody tie your feet together and say, quick march. Huh? A person is very hungry. There's food. He's very hungry, but instead of eating the food, food. Is it going to suffer? Is it going to satisfy the hunger? Somebody is very thirsty. He's in the middle of a lake and very thirsty. Maratha piyasa. Dying of thirst. And water, and would not drink, wouldn't satisfy his thirst. No. So, the mind. Man eva manushyanam karnam bandha mokshayoho. Brahma Bindu Upanishad, second mantra. The Vedas say, the mind alone, man eva. The mind alone is the cause of bondage as well as liberation. God only knows our thoughts and ideas. The mind is the performer of the action. He does not know the physical action. These are helpers. Helpers. Use the hand to clap, the tongue to chant the name of Allah, the eyes to look at the beautiful murti, the head to bow to God and the saints, etc. But man sahit, together with the mind, then it is the main, sabse pramukh, main is the mind. This is why all the rishis and munis have taken hold of the mind. All the responsibility lies in the mind alone. Shri Krishna says in the Gita, Arjuna was saying, I am surrendered, but was more physical. Now, Shri Krishna says, Mayeva mana adhasva mai buddhim niveshaya. Chapter 12, verse 8, Gita. Arjun, this is a surrender. Surrender your mind and intellect to me. Give your mind and intellect. I don't want the body. I want your mind and intellect. Stop using the mind, stop using the intellect. If I say do it, do it. You told me, you said I am your guru, you are my fully surrendered disciple, yet you're not doing what I'm telling you to do. What kind of surrender is that? Eventually he did, but he had to hear everything for us to know what to surrender also. We have all those questions that Arjuna is asking. So give your mind, we have to completely remove the mind, the intellect. When it comes to Guru, the saint, the true Guru, when it comes to Bhagwan, when it comes to the scripture. You know you're very sick, you go to the doctor. You say, Doc, pain, so much pain. The doc tests you and he says, okay, I'm giving you this medicine, liquid. Take 1 drop in water 3 times a day. Ek boon, 1 drop. You say, 1 drop? Doc, look how big my body is, man. What is 1 drop going to do? Give me the whole bottle one time. I'll get better really quick. The doctor will say, hey, take him to the mental asylum in Trinidad, St. Anne's. Fix him mentally, then we will fix him physically. But someone listens to the doctor. He follows the instruction, takes the medication accordingly and gets better. We have to completely surrender like that. Completely. So now we can solve that puzzle that Shri Krishna had given to Arjuna. Do not perform the action of fight in the battle. Do not perform the action of not fight in the battle and fight the battle. युद्ध करने का कर्म नहीं करना, युद्ध करने का कर्म करना और कर्म युद्ध करने का कर्म नहीं करना और सोचना भी नहीं करना और युद्ध कर. Again, do not perform the action of fight in the battle. युद्ध करने का कर्म नहीं करना. Do not perform the action of not fight in the battle. ना युद्ध करने का कर्म कर नहीं करना. सोचना और युद्ध करो and fight the battle. What Shri Krishna meant was that since the mind alone is the performer of the action, surrender the mind, give the mind to me, to Shri Krishna, and perform your duty in the world. Your Kshatri, your duty is to fight the war. Attach your heart, your mind to me, Shri Krishna, and do your duty. You see, if the mind is attached to Shri Krishna, and Shri Krishna is not in the mind, you will get the fruit of the mind, Shri Krishna. No matter what you do with the action, Shri Krishna is not noted. You could do wrong, you could do right, you could do bad, it doesn't matter. Because he does not know the physical action. This is what the true meaning of Karma Yoga is. The whole Gita. 1 line, 1 verse, 1 line. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamanusmar yudhya cha. Arjuna, listen carefully. Tasmat sarveshu, at all places, sarveshu. Kaleshu, at all times. All time, 24 ghante, 24 hours a day, all time. Mamanusmara. Lovingly attach your heart, your mind to me. Remember Shri Krishna all the time. And Yudhya cha, your Kshatri, your duty. Do your duty. Do your duty as a husband, as a wife, as a child, as a parent. Do your duty. but with the heart, the mind attached to Shri Krishna, to God. This is the Karma Yoga. Mai arpita mano buddhir mame vaivasya sanshayah. Second line, same verse, chapter 8, verse 7. Arjun, if your mind and intellect is attached to me like that, to Shri Krishna like that, you will certainly come to me, you will go to Shri Krishna. There's no doubt about it. The mind has to be surrendered. Surrender doesn't mean to stop doing everything physically. You have to live, you have to do things. Surrender means surrender of the mind, surrender of the intellect. Mind plus intellect, not just mind. Oh, I'll surrender the mind, but I'll keep the intellect. No. Complete surrender. Do not apply the mind nor the intellect. Very briefly, so why have we not surrendered to Shri Krishna so far, to God? Has no one ever told us about the need to surrender? No, we have met uncountable saints in uncountable past lifetimes and have heard about the need to surrender. So why have we not surrendered? There are many, many reasons. Jagat Guru Ramanujacharya has given 3 Kapuyacharan, 4 Tushti, etc. But Gita also, Shri Krishna says there are 4 kinds of people who can't surrender to Him. Just briefly the 4 types. Namam dushkritino mudha prapadyante naradhama maya pahitagyana asuram bhavam ashritaha. Chapter 7 verse 15 Gita. Thousands and thousands of people have written translation of this verse in Gita. What I'm going to tell you is the translation given by Jagat Guru Ramanujacharya, one of the original Jagat Guru. In other words, I'm giving you the best. As given by my Guru, Jagat Guru Sri Kripalu Mahaprabhu. But Ramanuja's translation, Jagat Guru Ramanujacharya. The first kind of people who can't surrender to God are called Mudha. Mudha means fools. Murk. These people have no idea at all about who or what God is. They've never read or heard anything. They've never found the right atmosphere. These people just live their life, which to them means taking birth, getting an education, getting a good job, getting married, putting money in the bank, having children, and so forth. That's all it means to them. After living such a meaningless life, they die only to be born in lower forms of life in the next birth. The second kind of people are called Naradham. Naradham. This means that we know what we have to do. We have been told by the Guru, the true saint, all who are satsangis. Now, I'm not going to beat you tonight. But think for yourself. We have been told everything. We know what we are supposed to do. But we do little or nothing towards our spiritual upliftment due to laziness and carelessness. Laziness and carelessness. The third class of people are called Maya Pahitagyana. The sole aim of these people is doubt. Everything doubt. Fight and quarrel. Doubt. They doubt everything. Many people like that. They read a little bit and they think they know everything. And now they're ready to argue. Why so-and-so written in Ramayana? Why so-and-so written in Gita? Was Sri Krishna God? Was Ram God? Why did Ram do this? Why did Krishna do that? Everywhere doubt. They are unwilling to change their opinion about anything. They will only ask questions to argue. Argue. And the fourth class of people are called Asuram Bhavamashitaha. Asura means Rakshas. They have Rakshasi, demonic tendencies. They have little or nothing to do with God. They are atheists. They don't believe in God. They have no interest whatsoever. And they will even try to stop others from taking God's name. If there is some talk or something going on about God, somebody has a tent in the yard or something, and there is a yug or bhagavad or something, let's go and make some fun out of Panditji. Make some noise on the road, throw some stone. If they happen to attend a satsang, a discourse, they become very restless, irritated. Oh, why is he talking like that? Oh, they get angry. They can't take it to heart, the mind is too dirty. Certain things cannot go in. You see, we have to have a vessel for something, certain knowledge to go in. Otherwise it can't go. It's like bouncing against a brick wall, a steel wall. It will not go in when the heart is too dirty. If the vessel is good, bhaiya, and it goes in there, hey, Bhagwan, bhakti starts sprouting. The beej, the seed goes in. You know, when you put a seed in a really good place, good soil, good water, and good soil, oh, it will germinate. And in a bad place, that will eventually die. Now, since we have not surrendered to God so far, it means we belong to one of these categories. We're not murha, in that we have never heard or read anything about God. We're not maya prahita jnana, hopefully, just argue for the sake of argument, everywhere doubt. And we are not asuram bhavama shrita, have no belief in God whatsoever, don't have no interest, atheist. It leaves only one category, naradham. Especially satsangis. We have been given everything. We know what we have to do. But we do little or nothing towards our upliftment due to laziness and carelessness. Every excuse in the world not to attend satsang. We can do everything else. We listen to our mind. We've been told over and over by Guru, don't listen to the mind. संतन कहियो न मान द्वार पतित आयोरी किशोरी राधे द्वार पतित आयोरी किशोरी संतान कायु नहीं मानो कायु मेरे नहीं मानो सदा मन भायो रे किशोरी राधे सदा मन भायो रे किशोरी राधे. We never listen to the saint. We don't listen. Doesn't mean hearing the ears. We don't accept. When you listen means doing what the saint has told us. Agya palan. What Guru has told us. Doesn't mean hearing with the ears. It goes, when you hear with the ears, it goes through one and come out the other one. And that's how we listen. No. Akiyo sada mana bhayori. From beginningless time, we do whatever the mind say. We listen to our mind. This mind has led us astray. The Guru tells us, Kripalu Mahaprabhu, Jagat Gurutam Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu, our greatest enemy is our mind. Nobody can do us anything. Neither the neighbor, no nobody. We are our own enemy, our mind, the greatest enemy. We listen to it all the time. And it has led us astray and is going to keep leading us astray until we decide, I am going to do Agya Palan. I'm going to only listen to what my Guru told me, to what Sri Maharaji, what the saint has told me, and go according to that only. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Maharaji is my Guru, Guruji. I wouldn't get anything. Wouldn't get anything. Alright, so the gist, the science of the Gita we have heard, we have to completely surrender what? The mind, the intellect, the mind, the intellect, at all times, at all places. Attach our heart, our mind to Sri Krishna and perform our duty in the world. We'll hear more later on. Bole Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai, Srimad Sadguru Sarkar ki, Radha Rani ki, Gita Mata ki, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri